Local, local.
I'm just hanging out.
It's that time of week again, peeps. That's right, it's Friday, and you're hanging with Cooley. Thanks for checking in again. Every week, I try to do my best to bring you some good content, and this week's no different, man. We're going to start off with some Giants news. Not really news, just, a little recap of what I'm feeling about the last game that we just played. It was horrendous to watch or not watch because I was at work when the game was going on, but it was actually something that I was keeping track of, and it was awful to see that we almost won that game again, and in the last minute, let it go to shit. This is just a theme for the team this year. Poor Coughlin. I feel pretty bad for this dude. He's probably going to get fired. He's probably not going to be with us next season unless the team steps up, turns it around, and actually plays their heart out for the rest of the year. And I, for one, would love to have Coughlin back next year. I mean, I don't think he was that bad. He could have made some better decisions, and the clock management could have been a lot better. And sure, going for it on fourth down and trying to get a touchdown instead of just getting the 3 points, is it ill-advised? Could we have won the game? Sure, whatever. But you know what? It took balls. And it's something that I've always wondered why we don't do more of. Like, why aren't we more, risk-taking instead of so conservative all the time? And we finally do it, and everybody's complaining, oh, my God, we're taking so many risks and putting it all on the table. That's what we want to do. It's just we need to execute better. And nobody said it better than Odell Beckham. The coach made the right decision. We wanted to stay on the field. We wanted to go for that touchdown. We didn't execute. We didn't get it. That's our fault, and it's the truth. It was the right call at the time. Coughlin said it many times. He stands by his decision. He doesn't regret it. He'd do it again. And that's the coach that I want on my squad. So I'm not trying to be an apologist. I'm not trying to, make amends for a coach that doesn't deserve another chance. I'm saying, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for the Giants to step out of that shell and just go for it. Put your foot on people's throat. The coach staff is doing it. The players are not. And something that I've stood behind, this entire season, and something I've even criticized the Patriots fans for, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. I don't care that we don't have Victor Cruz. I don't care that half our offensive line is, sitting on bicycles on the sideline trying to get their calf in shape or whatever the fuck they're doing. I don't care about that. The people that are on the field, get out there and play the game and win and finish, because we're in that game and winning all the way up until the end. And then we just fall apart, and I don't understand it. So you have the rest of the season. You need to win out. You need to get into the playoffs, and you need to save your coach's job. Do it and shut the fuck up. And that's it. I'm not even going to sit here and harp on it, but let's talk about the fact that, even though we suck, we're still in the game. We still have a shot at getting to the playoffs. And if we get into the playoffs, we definitely have a shot at running the table like we did in 2007. So Is it out of this world, unbelievable? Absolutely. But the scenario is there. It's just we have to take advantage of it. And if we don't, then that's on us. So, that's that. That's the Giants, the season in a nutshell, really, right? It's just every single week we go out there, we play our friggin' hearts out, and then we lose. And I don't care what the situation is. Is it bad calls? Is it injuries? Is it some ridiculous fucking fluke play? I don't care. We've managed to lose the game. It's on us. So let's get out there these last few weeks and play the best football we can play and hope for, the Redskins and the Eagles and the Cowboys to find ways to lose like we have, and that gets us in the playoffs. And then we just got to worry about the Panthers, and, that's pretty much it. I'm not really concerned about any other team. I think we can do it. I know we can do it. So that's my spiel. I'm done with the Giants right now. I can't wait until Sunday because this Sunday we play the Dolphins, and this is going to be a make or break game because we're playing a team that is, in my opinion, the mirror image of the Giants. I mean, this is a team that shows up one week and blows people out of the water, and then shows up the next week and get their asses kicked. It's basically they're the Giants. They have all the talent in the world, and they should be a playoff team, but they're not a contender right now. And the reason for that is that they come out there just like the Giants and they play up or down. And sometimes they just, they're out of air. You got people like Jarvis Landry, you've got Rashard Matthews, you've got Lamar Miller. You've got an offense. You've got an offense. Tannehill's not the greatest quarterback in the world, but when he does it, he actually gets out there and he lights it up. So it just depends on who shows up. And this week, if the good Giants show up and the good Dolphins show up, you've got yourself a hell of a game that hopefully we can come out on top of. There's also the possibility that the good Giants show up and the bad Dolphins show up and we blow them out, which will be fine by me. I want to watch an exciting game. I want the game to be something that I can, sit on the edge of my seat and bite my nails and be happy at the end. But if we roll over them, I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd be very happy, to be honest with you. Then the third scenario is that the bad Giants show up and the good Dolphins show up and we get smoked. All of these things are very possible. These are very possible scenarios for this Sunday. So fingers crossed that it's one of the first two. If the last one happens, I'm done. I'm done. You won't hear me talk about it for the rest of the season. You know my stance. You know how I feel. You know I think this is a talented team. We're not losing due to lack of talent, and we're not losing because the coaches suck. We're losing due to scenarios and situations, and things don't pan out the way that we expect them to, and the players aren't executing in the final minutes of the game the way that they should. So fix those little things, and next season is a Super Bowl season, or the season after that. Who knows? We might need to fix a little. We might need to get some more players or whatever in the draft or free agency to plug in to fill in the spots in the offensive line that we need some help on. But honestly, Eli has not lived on his back this season, so there's nothing offensively that I can look at and say, hey, we need these pieces. I think we're there. Defensively, we've let a lot of big plays go, and always in critical situations. So this is where we need to shore up, and, who knows? We'll see what happens. But I'm moving on. I'm going to go ahead and talk about some other things. The thing that happened this week that actually got me super excited. A friend of mine it happened just today. A friend of mine sent me a message, and it has a YouTube link in it, and I have no idea what it's for. It doesn't have like a title or, hey, this is what you can expect from this link. It's just a link. And I love it when I get those because you never know what's on the other end, and it's almost like a Christmas gift. You click on it, it's like unwrapping it, and then you get something that's either wonderful or you get socks. In this case, it was something great. I got a pretty cool present. It was the X-Men Apocalypse trailer. For those of you that don't know my stance on this, I have always been kind of on the fence with this movie. It's something that I just didn't think was going to be awesome. I looked at the stills and I looked at the images that came out and I looked at the covers to the Entertainment Weekly magazines, and everything I saw made me feel like this was going to be a shit movie. Never mind the fact that it's being produced by Fox Studios, and add that in and it's just, I don't give a fuck about this movie. But I saw this trailer today, and it blew me away. I am totally on board with it. I completely flipped my stance on how I feel about this movie. So bravo to Fox Studios for getting me excited about something that's not Star Wars related in these final days before The Force Awakens is released. And how did they get me so excited, you might ask? Well, how about the fact that they actually are taking these characters seriously? This is not a cheesy or over-the-top action piece. This movie is actually very somber, it seems, in tone, and it's almost depressing, but it should be if the character is Apocalypse. We're talking about a guy that can end the world. his goal is to live up to his name and bring about the apocalypse. He is all about survival of the fittest. So only the strong survive. And the weak, being the humans and mutants that don't fit his agenda, are snuffed out, basically. There's a culling. And this movie should not just be an action piece. This movie should be somber. It should be, people just understanding that their life is just about to be over and trying to come to terms with that and trying to fight to turn it around. And that's what this movie's going to be from what I can see in this trailer. There were a couple of things that threw me off a little bit. Like, there's some scenes that look like they may not have been finished, like Archangel spreading his wings and the flechettes, kind of come flying out. And it looked a little bit weird. It looked totally CGI. And I know it is CGI, but let's face it, nowadays, CGI doesn't look like CGI. You saw Planet of the Apes, you saw, Jurassic World, and, there are things that look real, even though they're CGI, and they are. So, yeah, they could totally fix that, hopefully, and those scenes are just not finished. I mean, there's a scene where Quicksilver's running, kind of looks like, Wayne in Wayne's World. Mike Myers kind of just doing that fake run, behind that screen, in front of a green screen or whatever. And it was just, I was like, take it or leave it. To me, it just cemented the MCU Quicksilver as the king of Quicksilvers in my book. But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. But everything else in the trailer, to get me, honestly, if you've listened to like episodes 1, 2, and 3, and God bless you if you did, because those episodes were kind of awful as far as, the audio quality. If you listen to episodes 1, 2, and 3 of the Redbeard podcast, you would know that my stance on these movies, the X-Men movies, is I'm not a fan. I haven't been a fan since X-Men 2. And, actually, the First Class movie was pretty good. But other than the First Class movie and X-Men 1 and 2, I have not been a fan. And for me to totally do a 180 and jump on board just based on this trailer, it's 2 minutes of footage. I'm blown away. I am honestly blown away. There's not many things that can do that, especially from the studio that brought us the Fantastic Four. All of them, which I hated. I mean, but the first 2 Fantastic Four movies are awesome compared to the one that just came out. Let's be, come on. That nobody in my circle of comic book friends we've never sat down and wondered, what the Thing has, under his shorts, Do you think the Thing has a penis? I don't know. Nobody ever had that conversation. Do you think it's made out of rock? Do you think it's flesh? I mean, it's not something that we cared about. And to have that question that nobody asked answered in a movie now just makes things really awkward. So I'm really upset about that. The fact that he had no pants on, that was ridiculous. It made no sense. However, I guess in the defense of this movie, because I'm thinking about it now, it kind of makes sense now that I think about it that, the Thing is really upset about becoming the Thing. Because if I got superpowers, I always thought, hey, even though they deform me a little bit, I'd still be awesome and still be kind of cool about it. And I wouldn't be so depressed as the Thing is. But to become a eunuch because of getting your powers, I think I would be depressed and I'd be really pissed off at Reed Richards. And there'd be some tension between me and my buddy who actually, caused me to get these powers that made me lose my junk. So, sure, I guess there's a positive there. But again, a question I did not need answered. So, fuck you, Fox. But pat on the back for bringing me back in, because now you have 2 movies that I actually care about, that I actually am excited to see, X-Men Apocalypse and Deadpool. I can't say anymore. Let's wait and see, because I was wrong about being wrong. Perhaps when the movie comes out, it'll make me wrong about being wrong about being wrong. So, whatever. Anyway, next on the list on my agenda for today, let's see, we are going to talk about Batman v Superman, because I went back, after seeing this trailer, I went back and I watched that trailer, and I'm like, maybe there's some things that I can pull out that were positive, but nope, still sucks. Moving on. Star Wars, man, that shit's coming out next week. We got about 7 days, right? 6 days, actually. Officially 7 days, but we all know shit comes out the day before now. So I don't even know why they have an official release date when they